The Shuar people believe that all the beings, even though we look a little bit different, we are the carriers of the same spirit. But in shamanism we have this essential resource. We can make stronger the presence of life in ourselves. You will need more painkillers, and for the next year you will need more, and one day the antibiotics doesn't work anymore because you don't have the life. While we are learning shamanism, while we are practicing shamanism, we are also helping to heal ourselves and overcome our limitations and weaknesses. There are very few plants in the world that can perform such a work in the humans. Today I want to talk about how the shamanism help to improve the health, how the shamanism, just for the practice, for partaking in a ceremony, you improve your life quality, you strengthen yourself, and you can also heal yourself. As everything in life, shamanism is not a guarantee of healing your diseases or your illnesses. It's just a very important support, and in many cases we have succeeded in the healing process, has been a very important help in the healing process of people, but it's not an absolute guarantee that you're going to bring back your health again. I have worked during 25 years with the shamanism, and it really helps and works well. I'm educating the people, I'm educating the world, I'm trying to improve us as members of the society. So while we are learning shamanism, while we are practicing shamanism, we are also helping to heal ourselves and overcome our limitations and our weaknesses. We have been born in shamanism, we believe, and we teach, the elders taught, that we have been born from Arutam. Arutam is the proper name in the Shuar language of Great Spirit. So we are the carriers of Arutam's presence. Arutam, the Arutam concept can be translated as life, source of life, spirit, the soul of all the beings. The Shuar people believe that all the beings, even though we look a little bit different, we are the carriers of the same spirit. This spirit is named Arutam. For the Shuar people, the health is keep the Arutam's presence with the maximum intensity in our lives. So if the spirit is shining intense within us, the health is a natural consequence of this presence, intense presence in us. So for the Shuar people, the most important in life is keeping the spirit intense and alive until the last moments of our life. So if the presence of the spirit becomes weaker, the life energy becomes also weaker in ourselves, and then we are more exposed to the illness, to any ambiental environment aggression. We are weak responding to the cold, to the heat, to the wind, and then we are more fragile. So for the Shuar people, in order to keep a very good health, we need to keep the presence of the spirit very intense in our life. So this is the first consideration, or the first aspect of the tradition and the healing. What means healing for Shuar? So, for example, in the Western societies, this conception of the illness and the health, that they have like a kind of war. Yeah, okay. So I am a person, and then I have a kind of bacteria or virus which is attacking me. So we have this conception permanently. There's not any other assumption, only this. It's I think it's coming from the Bible. Like something good, something bad, evil, the holiness, I don't know. But we are only focused in a kind of war. We have to fight with antibiotics or other substances against the bacteria, against everything, okay? We very few times we consider the most important, that is our self-state, our strength, the intensity of the life energy inside of us, the capacity of working and manage and handle any circumstance in the world with success. For example, for the Shuar people, it's much more important not what you are exposed, it's how you can react or how can you respond to any kind of attack. For example, many people can be under the influence of the same bacteria or the same viruses, and for some of them, nothing happens. They are fine. And others are absolutely destroyed. They need a hospital. They need antibiotics. So for the Shuar people, they believe that you don't have to fight against anything. You have to be in your best version. And the responsible of this best version of yourself is the intensity of the spirit, Arutam. So if you want to live longer with a good state, with a good health, being strong, responding with effectiveness until any aggression from the nature or from any hard circumstance, you need the maximum intensity of life energy in yourself. And the Chinese people, they refer to this energy like qi, like the qi, right? So for the Shuar people, the Arutam's presence is the one responsible of the intensity of life flow in yourself. If the life energy, if the vital energy is very intense, very few things can affect you. But you see how the people are falling down, and you are fine. So this is why my elders, they got a very successful adaptation to the jungle. Even with very bad injuries, they survived very well. So for the Shuar people, the intensity of Arutam's presence is the key of a good health. To get older, healthy, to be always strong, to be able to resist the rain, the wind, the cold, the heat, whatever. So in our Western medicine, we don't have tools to improve our vital energy, right? What do we have? We don't have. Yes, when we have a problem, we make a diagnosis, and in most of the cases, we use painkillers, antibiotics, or things to release or kill the bacteria. But we don't have something to make stronger our life energy. Shamanism. We have plants, we have things to help to somehow to bring the balance, kill bacteria, whatever, reduce the pain as well. Not so effective and not so strong as in the Western medicine. That also has to be mentioned, okay? But in shamanism we have this essential resource. We can make stronger the presence of life in ourselves. And in the shamanism, the key for this, of course, we have some plants, some stimulants, like, for example, in the Chinese medicine, we have the ginseng and epimedium, some plants to make stronger, Rehmannia to make stronger the root of life, right? And stimulate as well. But in shamanism, we have something even better. Ayahuasca, tobacco, floripondio, especially ayahuasca. What is the purpose of ayahuasca in terms of healing? Ayahuasca connects yourself straight away with the spirit. Straightly with the spirit. And then, if you remains in the trance, right? If you remains in the trance enough time, the connection is even deeper and deeper and longer and longer. If you fast, if you follow the teachings and the cares, the connection is permanent. So the doors are open and the spirit is permanently in you. So then the flow of the life through the channels and through all the body is permanent, is intense. A person who brings back the life with maximum intensity into his present is undefeatable. And this is the difference between the Western medicine and the ancient medicines. They believe in the man as a child of the Great Spirit. And they believe that the most important for the health is the connection with the Creator. So this brings the power, the health, and the capacity to defeat and face whatever happens. And on the other side, we have the psychological aspect, where a person who is connected with the spirit has a good mental health, has peace, has harmony, has freedom, and has a lot of skills developed through the pass of the time and the practice. So the main key and the main point I want you to remember is Western medicine believes that we have to fight and kill and somehow defeat something alien that is attacking us. And during the process, they use anti-inflammatories, painkillers, and things to try to calm down. But the energy becomes weak. With the pass of the years, if you don't connect with the spirit and if you don't renew the life flow, you will need more antibiotics, you will need more painkillers, and for the next year you will need more, and one day the antibiotics doesn't work anymore because you don't have the life, you don't have the power, you don't have the connection with the spirit. So, shamanism, we make herbalism work as well. Maybe in some aspect it's not so strong like antibiotics and other substances. But we believe that that side is not so important. Maybe one day in an emergency, after a surgery, something like this, yes, it's necessary, the Western medicine in these cases. We believe that we have been born from Arutam, from the spirit. We need the presence and the life from Arutam. Arutam is the only one who can give us again the life energy, renew the life energy fully. And the great advantage that we have in shamanism is we can renew our life, our energy again from zero to the maximum level. Maybe not, but much more probably. This is the meaning of shamanism and how the elders talked that we can preserve the life, the health, keeping the spirit presence intense in us. And ayahuasca in the Shuar shamanism is the key. There are very few plants in the world that can perform such a work in the humans. Personally, for me, ayahuasca is one of the most important, because also you have this work with the shade, with your own darkness, that unblocked the limits that are also interfering in this return of the spirit into our lives. So this is why I appreciate so much ayahuasca and ATEM.